My expectations going in were pretty skeptical. I resist the business model when it comes to art making, although I certainly recognize that people who understand the business model better tend to do better commercially with art making and art selling and those kinds of questions than people who resist it like me.
I was hoping the class would help me clarify what my goals and objectives were in the business I was trying to start as an arts consultant.
As an artist and as someone who went through an arts-oriented college education, my education was focused very much on how to do art and not on how to earn a living doing art.
I figured I'd find out a way to make my project work best for me, and there would be some tools that you'd be able to provide that I'd be able to utilize to really get things up and going.
I just wanted some extra help to focus, how I was going to make it successful, what was going to make me different, what my niche was going to be in the field of life coaching.
I learned about market research and figuring out what it is that other people are doing that's like what it is that I'm doing and how have they captured the market and I haven't.
I learned how to do that, how to narrow my thoughts, how to look at what my market is, how to decide what the priorities were and what fields to go after within arts consulting.
I think as an artist, a lot of artists are taught that there is some sort of trickery or magic or something involved in the business side of the arts. And I think that the class really sort of demystified that for me in a lot of ways.
In terms of setting it up and being a business, figuring out, what's profitable, what might not be profitable, establishing relationships, collaborations, really how are you positioning yourself and putting yourself out there. Those are like all of the various tools that once you actually enrolled in the class, every week there was something that was being presented to you along those lines.
I think that the most important thing that I learned was something that I had no idea about going in was really doing a market analysis before starting a business. And I never really even knew that was something to do, but really looking at what other people were doing, what were models that were already successful out there, and starting to emulate, some of the people that were successful in terms of how they reached out and got prospective clients, and what are some of the, services that they provided.
I am continuing to work with young people creating their own theater works. And I'm going to be directing a production of Three Sisters. It's a new translation that was generated by using Google Translate and other free translators on the internet. And part of the reason why I'm doing that is because I made concrete a friendship with somebody that was in my class at C4.
I was able to hammer out a plan for an artist retreat that will happen a year from now. I found the artist that I want to be my instructor, so that is going to happen. And I've met with a few hospitals because part of my plan was to bring more art into hospitals that have art and new art in hospitals that don't have art.
We are in the middle of recording our third album right now. We are hoping to do a release late February, kind of mid to late winter. On the more personal side, aside from the Extraordinary Contraptions, I'm trying to re-jumpstart my solo jazz career. And I think in the past 8 years, including the stuff I've learned from the class, I think I have a much better idea and a better plan on really how to pursue that in a more fulfilling and satisfying both artistically, creatively, and monetarily.
And I also realized that I needed to go back to the drawing board because there were a lot of things that I just did not factor in. I was not looking at competition. I was not looking at a lot of things. I wasn't looking at the marketplace. I really just knew that this was something I wanted to do. I really probably would not have moved in that direction or even looked in that direction had it not been for the C4 Atlanta class.
Right now I'm actually tutoring part-time, and I'm also editing a book, and so there's potential with this book to do some of my own writing as well.
I congratulate C4 for what it is that they're doing, what they mean to do, for being smart and continuing to pay attention to what they're doing that is and isn't effective, and doing their best to make it be effective. I want to say that I enjoyed myself in the class tremendously. It was a really creative experience, which was almost surprising, which was surprising.
The staff at C4 has a lot to offer, not just what they're offering in the class, but also just what C4 stands for and what they're trying to accomplish. It can benefit you in the long run.
The major thing that really helped me was realizing, okay, there is so much information out there. There are people out there who specialize in this kind of stuff. And I have a very sort of do-it-yourself kind of attitude, and I'd love to be able to do everything myself. But one of the things I really realized as the extraordinary contraptions have gotten bigger and bigger is that there are only so many hours in a day. I need to be an artist and a musician first.
Some of the people that were in my class, and I guess we were a part of the first class, those are the people that I'm still doing business with today. And they're awesome. It's great to support them in their efforts. It's great to see a lot of the things that they were talking about in their classes actually come to fruition. And it gives you a really sense of a proud moment and a connection that you might not expect.
Just love the people in C4 organization. They've been really supportive of me, both inside the class and out, beforehand, and even a while after the class. And it's just great people and doing inspiring things.
My name is Priscilla Smith. I'm a performing artist and collaborator and writer, and I'm the executive director of iDrum Art Music Gallery. I'm part of the committee that puts art on the Atlanta Beltline, and I have some other hats I wear, but I'll stop with those.
My name is Dorian McDuffie, and I'm an arts consultant.
My name is David Tyberg. My primary gig is I portray Professor Dimitri von Stadberg, singer, bass player, composer, and all-around cat and crazy person wrangler for Atlanta-based steampunk rock band The Extraordinary Contraptions. When I'm not portraying wild sci-fi Victorian characters, I am a jazz, upright, and electric bass player, vocalist, songwriter, spouse, and parent of 2 cats.
My name's Alex Obed, and I tutor Hebrew part-time, and I'm also editing a book, and I've done some life coaching in the past, and just taking a break and up to seeing what comes next.
My name is Margaret Kirkbow, and I am a writer, producer, and project manager. Oh, sorry. That was about to go up my nose, you know that, right?